Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. So, there's been arrest made for Emmanuel, thank goodness, as of yesterday. I'm sure you're all aware of it. I'm just jumping on. I was waiting to see if there was going to be a press conference, which I'm surprised. I woke up this morning and no press conference that I can find yet. They're probably waiting to gather everything together and come out with, some information for us, the public. Um, But I think that's great. They were both arrested. There's video out there if you want to look, and you see them both getting arrested, which is fantastic. I just came on board to just touch on some validations of the two readings I did on Emmanuel, and it's what we know so far. All right, um, and let's just get full justice for Emmanuel. All right, let's see. On August 18th was my first video, right? And I had mentioned that, you know, I don't think it would take longer than, say, 2 weeks, I believe, or short time, whichever I said. And it was only 8 days after that video was made. No, 8 days after is a reported missing, because they got arrested yesterday on the 22nd. So I think that's great. Um, and they were arrested with murder with malice, meaning intent to harm. Um, and I'm wondering if it's actual outright intent to harm or because of the cover up of not saving or putting forth any information about the child that was true, that's intent to harm. And no bail. Thank goodness. No bail, at least at this point. Let's hope to God they don't walk. Um, so let's see what else. All right. Misused power came up on my video on the 18th, and that's the malice, misused power, intention, desire to do ill will. Again, it could be over the cover up too. They were not willing to do what's best for this child. Timeline is off. And from what I saw this morning on a little snippet of, I don't know if it was News Nation, but it was a news channel. All right, one of the news channels. Real news channels, right? No one has seen in the family, no one's seen him for like a month. No one has seen baby Emmanuel for like a month, from what they're being told by family. So yeah, the timeline is damn off, and which is sad because now you have a whole month where they could have put this child anywhere. You know what I mean? And they did go through, and they probably still are, I don't know, but went right into the house yesterday, did the yard, going through garbage, looking. You saw this one cop detective looking through every single piece of paper from that trash. You know what I mean? Um, so, uh, I'm sorry, this just sickens me that hopefully they find some evidence and information that will lead them, you know, um, to where Emmanuel is. So, yeah, timeline was way off. Um, I picked up mountains as obstruction, and they definitely were obstructing this whole case, this whole investigation. So, also behavioral patterns. He has behavioral patterns. I'm wondering if, even though she's doesn't have a record that we know of, otherwise it would have came out, right? If people who know her will possibly come out and say, well, she wasn't really, phased by anything. Even though her ex-husband did come out and say she was a good mom or something, but he has behavioral patterns for sure. Um, and I got additional evidence at crime scene, but I was like, we don't know where the real crime scene is at this point. Well, I think they know it's at the home. It happened at the home because they just flew right in there and got into everything they possibly could. right? So then on August 21st, I got, which is the day before they actually did all this and arrested him. Cover up has been exposed because I wrote right in the title, the cover up will be exposed, and I got that in the reading. Well, it's definitely exposed, right? Justice for Emmanuel has started, and they're making it clear they're not going to stop until they know exactly where he is, what happened to him. My one question is, it's been so long now. I don't know if they'll find him. I really don't. I'm hoping they do. Um, I don't give much. I mean, I always have that hope that he's alive, but I don't see it possible at this point in time. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong there. And I do think someone right now is thinking, no, if they can't find a body, they can't charge me with anything. No, I think these charges are going through with or without a body. I think they've got enough. You know what I mean? And I do think I got also that people were going to come forward anonymously or what have you behind the scenes. And that's what preempted the cops to keep looking in certain directions. You know what I mean? To get that proof, to be able to jump in that. Because on the 21st, I said they have to cross their T's, dot their I's. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. Okay, search home, cross T's, dot I's, looking for hidden evidence, and that's what you saw was they were pulling stuff out of the trash cans. They were doing whatever they had to do. They're looking for stuff to confirm um, where they could have brought them. And I know they're looking at all this like hours of camera footage and stuff, like on maybe highways, streets, whatever, to see what kind of direction that family went in, where he could have gone on his own, where she could have gone on her own. You know what I mean? To try and get what direction were they going in. Now they have to go back like a whole friggin' month, weeks to a month. So we'll see. Unless someone gives it up, like she might just come out and say to them, because now that she's arrested, and I do think someone was scared to death, like in my first video on the 18th. Uh, it could have been scared to death because if they go to prison for harming a child, I mean, that's not a good place for you to be. When you have a child in prison, they'll get to you if they want to get to you. You know what I mean? But she might have been scared to death too, to tell the truth. But now she might do something. But she's equally as bad. That's all there is to it. Okay, now I also picked up on the 21st when I did my last video that someone was thinking of faking a suicide to try and get the blame off of them and distract. Poor me, I can't live without my child. So kind of, I'm hoping that they're on suicide watch. You know, I really am, because I want to find the baby. That's all there is to it. I did get dismemberment upside down, and I guess I recently just yesterday I saw someone was saying that possibly there was a saw bought at a certain store, or he tried to buy a saw, and was declined or something like that. I hope to God they didn't do that. I really do. I got more of a strangulation, but I mean, did they do it after the fact? I don't know. I don't think so, but that's me just saying, I hope to God not. Both did it and both were arrested. I got that on the 21st. Both did it. Both were arrested. Justice is coming. Uh, and I also put out 2 weeks, a whole thing, or could it just be the start of it? So 8 days after he went missing, they bust in the house and they arrest him, right? So that's definitely the start. And they won't let him out because they said no bail, right? And to put malice in there too, there has to be evidence of that. So they've got stuff. They've definitely got stuff. I think right now They're just looking to find Emmanuel. Show us where the body is. That could even be part of a little plea deal somehow. Just, we want that body. We want the child. Where is he? And they came out and said that they don't believe he's alive anymore. So we'll see. Um, and also on the 21st, the day before they did all that, my hope card was anticipation, something good. Well, the very next day they were arrested, and I even I think I even said something like, "We might see a blatant arrest or something like that," right? Well, they did. They arrested, and they're starting on the house and finding things. They might even be looking at a different location and not letting us know. You know what I mean? Because I do think there's a secondary location. Now, as far as the locations that I've been picking up, of course, we're going on a month here, and it could be that they drove by these places. It could be they stopped and put him there. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to throw out the random on both my videos and see if anyone, I don't know, and like I said, these could be places around where he may actually be. Now it's been a month. These could be places that they just drove by and you know what I mean? So it's very difficult. Um, but I got beach, sand dunes, dumpsters on the 18th and a park. And then on the 21st, I got mountains I saw as obstruction again, but I said, now I noticed there's mountains behind where they live. So maybe they went something in the mountains, right? Traveled to the mountains. I got a couple traveling there. um, Neighborhood, landfill, dumpsters again, power supply, or maybe power supply poles area, water, some sort of water, maybe a basin, a ravine. And I also picked up chemical plant, which was kind of bizarre out of all of this. So I don't know if there's a chemical plant, a factory that makes chemicals. I hope to God this dude, Jake, was not dealing with chemicals because you know what chemicals can do to a human body after they passed on. You know what I mean? Let's hope. But justice is coming. It has started. And let's hope just as soon, maybe a press conference today, hopefully. I'm hoping. Or tomorrow, they come out with even more information and have found the location or had the confession of what actually happened to this child. All right. And that's all I got for today. I just wanted to jump on and do this. And hopefully, we get more answers very, very soon. Uh, have a good day, everyone, or at least try.